Okay, she's sexy, she can train a dog like no other, and she calls no countries. It's Amazon! Touch hand.
Oh.
Touch hand.
Oh,
deep breath.
Oh, I'm sweating
it's
like
all
a pig.
okay.
I'm sweating like a pig.
Nice thought. I'm going to keep that in my
thoughts,
mind.
focus
So,
on.
how are you doing?
Oh,
It's quite mad,
oh,
isn't
nerves.
it? Are you frightened?
Not
I'll be very
frightened, just
gentle with
nervous.
you.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
going to all be fine.
Okay.
You're lovely.
Okay.
Now, you were nominated a week ago.
Yeah.
And it was quite odd, because normally what happens to people is they get very insecure and they feel a bit odd. But you seemed to suddenly relax after you got nominated. How did it feel inside to you? What did being nominated do to you?
It meant I got to come home. It meant I got to see my friends, my family.
But did you automatically assume that you were going to be out when you got nominated?
Yes, I did.
Really?
4 weeks. Oh,
I
sorry,
know.
no, 3 weeks before. 3 weeks Paul's been nominated and he hasn't gone. So obviously the public love him, which is great. But then...
Can you hear that? There's booing happening outside. It's not necessarily that the public love him. It's always quite a close call. They just can't decide. But sometimes it's people's reactions to something that's happened in the house that maybe you're not that aware of.
Okay.
So what do you think people's perception of you is on the inside?
No idea. And that's been completely honest.
Were you quite
I am
shocked
the
when you
quiet
got
one.
nominated?
No. Because I was expecting it from day dot.
Really?
I was, because I went in there and I met everybody else, and they're all fantastic. Every single last person.
Quite
in there.
outgoing.
Yeah, and normally I am too. But I went in there and I don't know why, I just withdrew into myself. And
did you find that was because there were so many strong characters in the house? It made you feel a bit like, oh well, I'll just let them do all the entertaining and.
Absolutely, exactly.
No, well, maybe that's what it is then. When the slightly louder people left the house, you started to come out of your shell.
Just a little bit.
It felt like that.
Uh-huh.
So I just asked you about people's perceptions of you inside the house. I'm now going to show you some of your nominations.
Okay. Okay.
Amma. And the reasons being are exactly the same reasons as I've said all the way through. Purely the fact that, you know, don't think she's had a lot of respect from me from day one.
Obviously, because we're going to week 6, those people I'd like to have things in common with and, you know, laugh a bit more and be able to discuss more things.
I feel we've probably had different upbringings, come from different backgrounds. We don't share the same interests.
I feel she's been rather temperamental, sort of bad-tempered and a little bit aggressive towards people in the group.
What did you make of that? Because they said some of the words were sort of aggressive or temperamental. Do you think that's a fair assessment of you?
I can be quite aggressive. Temperamental, no, I wouldn't have thought so.
Do you think that maybe it's
comparison.
your honesty? Because you've never really hidden your feelings. I mean, you wear your feelings on your sleeve, don't you?
I just think, especially in that environment, that that's the best thing to do. Because whatever I say privately or think in my head, if I say it out loud at any point, be it in the diary room or outside here, it's always going to be known by the people in the house. And I don't want it to be a situation where you come out and I've said something
And
about
you go,
you. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Did that happen to you when you were watching those at all? Josh?
Josh surprised me a
Maybe.
bit, but then I did nominate him, so he did the same thing as I did, I think. Or maybe he didn't, I don't know. But I nominated him, and I felt really bad about it because I based my nominations on actions of the past 2 or 3 days,
Right.
where there had been a little bit of tension between us. But
I think that's what everybody does when they're in the house, really. Emma, you were quite nervous, like you said, when you came out of the house, and very nervous as we were walking across the bridge. Is that because you were nervous about outside perception of you?
Oh, definitely.
Shall we have a quick look and see what they think?
Okay.
Emma,
much. She hasn't done very much lap dancing on the show, has she? I thought she was going to be the sort of sparky one of the gang.
She's absolutely terrifying. I mean, it'd be like being shut in a house with a bulldog that hadn't eaten for 2 weeks.
Emma's got great attitude, hasn't shown the best of her yet. I think she's got a lot to come.
What is it with all this burping and farting? There is a toilet in the house. You know where it is. Be ladylike. Go and use it.
Why do you have to argue over every little thing? If we say it's night, you say it's day.
I need to touch hands again, because I feel you need a bit of positive energy there.
No, that's all true.
I'm giving you some positive energy. Now, listen, you came across as a tough woman, which you yourself have owned up to.
Yes.
But we have seen a different side to you in the past week, and there was one brilliant moment when you revealed yourself to another housemate, and it was a side of you that I definitely hadn't seen before, and I just want to show it now.
With me, I think you're alright means I think you're fantastic.
Right.
I like you as I love you, you know what I mean?
Really? That's quite an extreme.
That's why I find it much easier to say, get out of my face, you nasty person.
Right.
Than, you mean the world to me and I love you. Blah, blah, blah.
Are you embarrassed looking at that?
Oh, yeah.
Are you? Because that's really you, isn't it? That's like opening up a kind of door or letting down the wall a little bit. Do you think, because I definitely, my perception of you changed after I heard that, you made a lot more sense when I realised how hard it is for you to express love for people. And do you wish maybe in looking at that you opened up a bit more to the housemates, or
definitely,
you wouldn't like to?
That's always the way I felt from when I was in there till the day I left. I felt I wasn't myself, and I didn't portray the myself that I really, really like. And I think it's because I did feel very overpowered by a lot of the people in the house, and felt that I had to be quite forceful just to be heard. And it tended to be the negative side of me, which
someone that he definitely just knew you was Paul, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what was it, do you think, that made you two click so much? Because he came out last week and he said lovely things about you. What do you think it was?
I think he was the only other person who was pretty honest, I found. And yes, he was loud, and yes, he could be quite, you know, edgy sometimes, and he could be, I don't know, he could give the wrong impression to people sometimes.
So you understood that?
Yeah.
Because you knew that wasn't what he was really like?
He had a big heart. He had a big heart.
Now, this last week's been mad, I think, in the house. Absolutely insane. We've had Paul, who's turning into Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now, kind of like, it's just like, fourth time now.
Yeah.
Poor thing. Also, a lot of tension between Brian and Josh, which I kind of thought had been resolved, and suddenly flared up again. What's happening there?
Flared up. It's been there since the day he came in. It's been there since the day he came in. I think if I'm being honest, Brian did start it, and he apologised, but he never quite let go, and I think he just feels a bit.
Do you think that maybe it's Brian's kind of way, and that Narinder understood that way, and Bubble understood that way, but now he's got nobody that understands his ways, if you know what I mean?
No, I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all.
Do you think Elizabeth was a really strong figure for you? Because you guys got on like a house on fire, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't see how anyone couldn't like her. She's wonderful. She's very
stabling.
Yeah, she's one of the nicest people I've ever met. She is caring. She always has something nice to say. There's nothing negative in her that I saw.
Let's take
Honestly,
perceptions from the outside are very different from yours from the inside.
Okay.
But let's just have a look at some of your lovely moments with Elizabeth.
Okay.